Alright, what is up YouTube? It's K right here. I'm back with another good video for today. I wanted to talk about, how should I say, I wanted to talk about a recent boxing fight that happened over the weekend of Mr. Michael Fox versus Gabriel Maestro. Um, I'm going to make the video on why I believe Michael Fox got robbed, or more so, I'm gonna give like my post-fight reaction thoughts to it, and then, I'm gonna talk about that, and then after this video, I'm gonna probably talk about Derek Lewis versus Gane. Derek Lewis getting stopped by him, but yeah, let's talk about Mr. Michael Fox that fought Mr. Gabriel Maestro. For those of you that don't know, Michael Fox, he is a, how should I say, he is a welterweight contender, and he fought Gabriel Maestro for the WBA interim title, which is a mandatory position for the WBA regular title for Mr. Jamal James. Michael Fox is a southpaw. He's from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, out of the DMV. Very good fighter. I like how he fights. He came off of a very controversial decision against Lucas Santamaria. He's a good fighter as well, coming up at 147. I like how he fights. He just recently beat Devin Alexander, a guy that, I thought Devin Alexander did pretty decent in that fight. This is all coming from like last night's fights, this past weekend. But I thought Devin Alexander did a decent job, to say the least. And it wasn't like the best fight performance that Devin Alexander really had. I didn't really see him being like the same Devin Alexander that pushed the action and made a fight a fight. And it just never made sense from the beginning. Lucas Santamaria figured him out, and it just seemed to be like one of those fights where Lucas Santamaria put on a boxing clinic, and I didn't really see anything good out of Devin Alexander that made the fight turn around. But congrats to Lucas Santamaria getting that victory over him. I believe like the other fights that were happening prior to that, well, actually no. Well, yeah, the last fight was Luis Collazo versus Eimantas Stanionis, which, I could probably cover that. But, I'll probably just, speed run, the whole weekend PBC fight card that just didn't make sense altogether. But the first fight was Devin Alexander versus Lucas Santamaria. Lucas Santamaria beat him, right? And, the second fight was Michael Fox, which I'm gonna cover, but I'm gonna hold that off. But the Luis Collazo versus Eimantas Stanionis, that was a fourth round no decision, because I guess there was an accidental headbutt that Stanionis did to Luis Collazo, and Luis Collazo couldn't continue, so the referee waved it off, and unfortunately he wasn't able to fight, and it was just like a no contest at that point, so, or no decision. So either way, I hope Luis Collazo does recover. I did hear it was supposed to be his last fight because he was going to end up retiring anyway, but I don't think he wanted to go out like that. I hope he recovers and maybe he could get one more fight on. I probably wouldn't want him to take a fight with Eimantas Stanionis because he seemed to be a dirty fighter that night, knowing that he kind of just made that fight physically brutal for no reason. But that's just me. I'm gonna move on with that. That'll be saved for like another day, talking about him. But let's talk about Mr. Michael Fox. He's a good fighter. I have a lot of respect for this kid. He had a very weird, controversial robbery decision loss to Gabriel Maestre. This is a guy who was going to go into his third Olympic, his third Olympic competition as I believe he won 2 gold medals in the past. This guy is from Barcelona, Venezuela. Resides out of Barranquilla, Colombia. He is 5'10" and a half, has a 73-inch arm reach, and he's 34 years of age. And this guy, he didn't really do good against Michael. Michael, he's a really good guy. He's a very good fighter. He is 6'3" and a half, probably one of the tallest welterweights in the world. He has an 81-inch arm reach, and he's a southpaw. And there's a reason why I needed to talk about this guy, because I kind of feel like the sport of boxing is very racially biased towards black American fighters and certain Hispanic fighters, which I think we just seen it with this fight. And for those of you that have not watched this fight, I recommend you guys watch the entire fight, and you guys will understand that Michael should have won this fight. Michael dropped this guy in round 2. Maestre, he had no answer for Michael. He basically got outboxed the entire fight itself, and it seemed like it was a complete blowout. I had it 12 rounds to zip, or if not 11 rounds, to 1, or 10 rounds to 2. But it's like Michael, he was doing absolutely fantastic. He used his jab, he used his height and reach advantage, and he just made this guy look average. He made him look like a amateur that shouldn't have been in the pros anyway, knowing that this guy was a 2-time Olympian. And I have no respect for Olympian fighters that are hyped up to be like the next big thing, like a Vasyl Lomachenko in a way. But for Maestre, this should be absolutely disappointing for him. He even knew after this fight was over that he lost, but he didn't care. He was just happy with the fact that he got hopeless protection, and the judges just automatically gave the victory to him. It just seemed like inside whoever was scoring this fight, which we're gonna go to the scores right now. I just clicked on it, but yeah, right here, right here. Here are your official scores that did not make any sense on this fight. So, okay. So right here, in the first round, Maestro beat Michael Fox. I don't know how he beat him in the first round, but that's your official score. In the second round, where he got dropped, he got 10-8 round. Okay, it's 1-1. And this didn't make any sense ever since from round 3 all the way to round 12. Round 3, Michael won. Round 4, so round 1, Maestro took it. That's 1-0. 2 was Michael, 1-1. 3 was Michael, 2-1. 4 was Michael, 3-1. And then 5 was Maestre, was 4-2. And then 6 was Maestre, 4-3. And then, for some odd reason, in round 7, Maestre, took this round. It didn't make any sense. Round 7 was somehow Michael, which is 4-4. And then round 8 was Maestre, which is 5-4. And then round 10 through 12, what? Yeah, 6-4, 7-4. So, this shit does not make any sense. You mean to tell me that this bum beat Michael Fox 8 rounds to 4? So you're meaning to tell me he won round 1, and then from round, from round 5 all the way to round, all the way to round 10 through 12. Yeah, so from round 5 to round 7, he won all those rounds. No, from round 5 to round 8, he won all those rounds. Except for round 9. And then from round 10 to round 12, he won the rest of the rounds. Yeah, it did not make any damn sense, but I just needed to show this because these judges' scorecards were absolutely insane. and it made no sense whatsoever of how, the bout was even scored. And I don't even know like what to say. I really wish I could get in touch with Michael Fox and just bring him on to my channel so he can say his piece. But this is absolutely disrespectful. This is pure corruption in the sport of boxing, because Maestre, if you just look at his punch stats, I don't think it's even in here, but the punches alone even showed that Maestre, he wasn't even throwing that many punches, and he got exposed the entire fight. The fight itself was a complete robbery, and I needed to cover this anyway because, I felt absolutely bad for Michael. I thought he did his thing. He beat the crap out of that guy, and he made him look basic. He made him look like a absolute bum, like an amateur. And I felt really bad that Michael had to get treated like a Black Murderers Row fighter. But this is how they treat certain fighters in the game of boxing. And I really wish Michael had won this fight, because him and Jamal James would have been a much better fight to watch versus Jamal James versus Gabriel Maestre. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be hyped up for him to probably win that fight against Jamal James anyway. I wouldn't be surprised. And Michael, he's not like the biggest puncher in the world. He only has 5 knockouts, but I guess like the old saying goes is that, you should never leave it to the judges in boxing. And Michael, probably should have had stopped him, because, Michael did his thing. He wasn't really able to solidify a knockout. And, not to say that he probably couldn't have stopped that guy, but he probably thought the fight was in his control. He did a very good job. And, I personally thought he did a very good job controlling the ring, making sure Maestre didn't get any advantages over him. And, he just, made him look average, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just made it look too easy looking at the fight from such a distant angle of where Michael was at the center of the ring, and he just made Maestre just look like a absolute bum. But justice for Michael Fox, because I don't understand how we as boxing fans, especially the hardcore ones, we're gonna just sit here and accept this crap going on and on and on. And then you look at all these crappy rankings out of BoxRec, where you see these fighters that shouldn't even be on here. Like the fighters like, Mr. Al Rivera. I know that he got a good victory off of, Mr. Omar Juarez, but still, this is like a guy that recently got his butt whooped by Rances Barthelemy, and ever since then, he hasn't really fought anybody. His only credible fights were just only Rances Barthelemy and Malik Hawkins, and now Omar Juarez. But Malik Hawkins knocked him out in 1 round, and Rances, styled on him for 10 rounds. And I'm just surprised, man. I'm just surprised of how PBC is really operating with, some of these fighters that we don't really care about. But yet, when it's like anybody that's a Black American fighter that's on the come up, it's like, those guys obviously get the worst treatment ever. And, this shit is absolutely disgusting. And I'm not even trying to bring race into it, but it just seems like, it's probably just going to have to go that route, because, it's just a trend that you see. Like you see a guy like Vito Mielnicki fight some guy that we don't even know. And most people are just sitting here like, why the hell is he fighting this bum when a guy like Mr. Michael Fox, he gets robbed by a unknown foreign fighter that no one doesn't care about, who's most likely on his way out, which he's probably not going to win a world title in the future. But even if he probably, cheated against those fighters. Oh, and not to mention about the cheating. Let me, address that. Michael Fox almost got cheated to death by this guy. This guy had to retape his like like retape his hand wraps and switch up on his gloves because he tampered them shits, and good enough it was caught live on TV, but go watch that fight. Michael almost got cheated, man, and I was kind of shocked um that Maestre would come out of his way to try to cheat against the young kid and Michael. But good enough that it took Michael's corner to catch it, but the commission itself did not do jack shit to catch that shit. And I was very surprised because, or no, I wasn't surprised. I was kind of expecting something like that to happen because I was just like, think of like, okay, well, obviously it's gonna be for like a mandatory challenger spot. So of course somebody out of either team's gonna do something extremely dumb. But Maestro didn't seem to be that type of guy to even hit hard anyway. So it's just like, of course he's gonna do some do some slick shit like that. But it was good that Michael's corner caught that, and he definitely made sure that that didn't happen. But good enough that Michael, he has an amazing team, and I hope Michael, he could probably bring this to court if it's possible, because he did not deserve to lose last night. He deserved to win. He should not have another L on his record. He worked his butt off in that fight, and it probably would have been a much worse night if he had gotten cheated, because I definitely did not want to see no cheating in this fight alone. Not in any fight in general, but it's just that it was absolutely disgusting, man. I was just very, very surprised that some unknown fighter that I had no clue of knowing had the evil intention to come out of his way to try to cheat, knowing that it just took Michael's corner just to spot that right on time, which I was very, very happy and I was proud to see that, because Maestre, he just seems to be like another bum from some bum ass country, and he deserved not to even be in there in the first place. So shout out to Michael, he's a real winner. Justice for Michael Fox, man. Hopefully I could try to even like reach out to him. Maybe I could help him out, just to spread this awareness, because Michael, he did not deserve to lose this fight. He is a tremendous fighter, and he should be 26 wins instead of 25-3, I think. But yeah, he should be 26-2. But hopefully Michael, he could get that get back, and hopefully we could see him be crowned as a world champion sooner than later. I know that he's probably extremely pissed off right now, as I would be too. And yeah, hopefully there could be some fair justice out of this, because this crap needs to stop, man. I'm just sick and tired of like watching boxing fights that are not worth my time no more. But definitely spread the word out for those of you guys watching. And this is Kieran Rodriguez. I'm signing out. Thank you and goodbye.